the difference between a homeowner's insurance policy, a general liability policy, or a renter's insurance policy? My name is Jacob Hara, and I am the broker-owner of Innovation Property Management and Pioneer Realty. And I would like to discuss the difference between these three policies for insurance. First of all, a homeowner's insurance policy is a policy that the homeowner carries on their property. And if you have a mortgage, you're mandated to carry a policy. If you were a homeowner where you rent your home through our company, we enforce that you have a policy whether the home is free and clear or not. A homeowner's insurance policy is going to protect your home. If a flood, fire, hurricane, acts of God that occur on your property are going to be covered through your homeowner's insurance policy. It's designed to put your home back into the condition that it was prior to the act of God. Homeowners insurance policies do not necessarily cover acts that tenants do against the home, whether on purpose or by accident. That's where these other policies come into play. A general liability policy is a policy that protects the home and the tenant to a certain extent. Generally, the entry point of a general liability policy that a tenant would take out on themselves and on the property is $100,000, meaning if the home was damaged as a result of an accident that the tenant had within the home, the first $100,000 would be coming from the general liability policy. Any amount over $100,000 would then be reported to your homeowner's insurance policy, and they would pick up the balance of it in most cases. Why do we want to have a general liability policy in place? Let me paint the picture for you. We had a tenant that was cooking dinner, and it wasn't their fault. It was just one of these freak accidents, and there was a grease fire. The fire probably lasted anywhere between 30 seconds and a minute, but fire spreads very quick, and more than the fire, the smoke and the soot damage goes everywhere. The kitchen needed to have brand new cabinets, countertops, flooring. The house needed to be cleaned and painted thoroughly throughout the entire home because of the smell of the soot. And the bill came to over $40,000. This would normally bankrupt a tenant or worse. Homeowners would then have to step in and pay thousands of dollars in deductibles in many cases, and their insurance company would have to pay to repair the property. And then sometimes their homeowner's insurance policy premiums would go up after that if they're not canceled. In this particular case, the general liability policy kicked in. The homeowner's insurance never caught wind that there was an accident at the home, and the homeowner received a check for the $40,000 to repair their home. The tenants were able to stay in place, and they were out no money whatsoever, and the home got a facelift. This is not something that works out so beautifully. I mean, it's not like you want this to happen, but we were able to turn lemonade out of lemons in this particular case. They were good tenants. The third type of policy is a renter's insurance policy. A renter's insurance policy covers the renter's belongings. Furniture, clothing, all the way down to the food in the refrigerator. If something were to happen in the home and the renter had a renter's insurance policy, they would go after that policy first. It would even cover, in many cases, nights in a hotel while the home is being renovated, should it need be. If the refrigerator were to go out and they had hundreds of dollars worth of food, the renter's insurance policy would kick in. No other policy would pay the tenants the reimbursement for their food costs. So when you deal with a property management company, or even if you do this on your own, you're going to want to make sure that your tenants have, at the very least, a general liability policy. Our company, because of the size of our company, is able to negotiate an excellent rate for the tenant. And for $12.50 a month, our tenants carry a $100,000 liability on homeowners' properties. It's a very beneficial thing. This one tenant was able to pay $12.50 and received back $40,000 worth of renovations in the home for an accident that could have wiped out their entire family. Now, these things don't happen often, but they do happen. So you want to make sure that you're well versed in the different types of policies and that you speak to the proper insurance agent and broker to make sure that you are properly and adequately protected. I am not an insurance broker, but I've seen enough of this to know that we need to ask questions and get protected. So once again, whether you do this on your own or whether you go through a management company, make sure you, your home, and the tenants are protected. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help.